Hey, it's David Pylon of Pylon Arts and Entertainment again. Here to talk to you some more about some more product reviews here. Um, so this one I might qualify. Yeah, it's definitely a product. Um, I was going to talk about doing at-home health testing, specifically the two that I've used. Uh, Only two that I really know of seem to be the most common, at least, are Everlywell and LetsGetChecked. So I'm going to have a little bit of a rant here just to preface this, talk about my personal experiences. So, like several years ago, I hadn't had any health insurance in like years, just because I'm a millennial, and it's something, we experience is we're just like poor and uninsured, and so we don't go see a doctor. And so once I actually had a job and money and insurance, I wanted to go see a doctor for the first time, because I've just had various health complaints for like a long time. Like especially the older I get, the more it seems certain issues are more common. So I went in and I got checked out and tested, and they basically said nothing was really wrong with me, but there were a few um, like abnormalities that came back that I wish they'd really looked at more. Uh, Basically, like they ran a battery of tests, and some of the only things that came back that were off. Um, yeah, it had higher, I believe it was sulfur. It was either sulfur or phosphorus levels in my bloodstream, and lower calcium. And I had like a hormonal imbalance where um, my testosterone was like super low, and my estrogen was like slightly elevated. Um, and this is when I was like 27, I think. So like it felt kind of like embarrassing, honestly, like a little bit emasculating to be like, oh, like I have low testosterone. I'm a young man. This doesn't seem right. Um, so that's part of why I started getting into like health and fitness and trying to take better care of myself. And so that's why I found out about doing at-home health testing through a podcast. And I was like, that sounds like something I could use. Because like in the years since then, I've been back to different doctors, and I just always feel like it's kind of a waste of money because I go in and tell them these are the symptoms and problems that I'm having, and basically the majority of doctors I've talked to have just had this kind of like they think it's just in my head type of reaction. They're like, no, we think this is just anxiety or depression. It's something mental. There's nothing physically wrong with you. You just need to take like these psychotropic pills that'll make you stop thinking you're sick. And like I can't accept that. I don't think that's the case. I'd rather just get diagnosed and come up with a treatment plan and go with natural, herbal, and alternative medicines if I can, and changing my diet and lifestyle to fit whatever my personal physical health needs are. So with at-home health testing, that puts a little bit more of the power back in your hands as the consumer, as the patient. You're basically acting as almost as like your own doctor. So actually, I really approve of it and support it. I like the idea a lot. There are a few drawbacks. I'll get into that in a little bit here. But I did Everlywell and I did Let's Get Checked. So I had two different tests with those. The Everlywell one was the men's health test that they have. When I did that one, it was just a spit sample. I believe they've added spit and blood tests since then. And so that wasn't too hard for me to do. I did that. It came back with the results. They tested four things. They had your testosterone, estradiol, which is like estrogen or related. DHEA, which I understand that's the chemical that basically is like secreted by your adrenal glands that turns into your sex hormones after. Is my basic understanding of it. I really don't understand completely how it works. And cortisol, which is your stress hormone. It said I had above average, higher levels of cortisol stress, and slightly below average testosterone, but it was actually significantly increased from where I used to have it. So I looked at that and I was like, that's a good thing to me, because it used to be like like extremely low, and now it's just slightly below average, and so I actually significantly increased my testosterone. Estrogen was within the normal range where it should be, so that's good. And the DHEA, the only one concerned me, said it was in the severely high range, which I really don't know what that means. And so I was like, well, I still have some type of hormone imbalance apparently. One of the only problems is it's hard to do something like that, and then you still have to go basically shop around for some type of health professional afterwards to have them look at that and take it seriously and be like, hey, I did this, so I want to have to go through you guys and put up with the hassle of, basically seeing a doctor, having them order the test, go take the test, get the test back. It can take a lot of time and money to process all of those things, especially with appointments, especially with right now with the pandemic and COVID and all that going on. It's extremely hard to even see a doctor for some people and to get these things done if you're not like a COVID patient is really one of the only things they're paying attention to right now. So I ran into that problem this year. So when you're just doing it at home, you're in control. You're doing it for yourself. You do the testing. You send it in. Basically, you can get these either online or some of them you can find in stores like at Target. Carry some of them, but they don't have the full array. There's a lot more that are listed on the websites when you go there. But basically, you order it, they deliver it to you, or if you pick it up in the store, you get it there and can do it either the same day or next day. You read the instructions. You gotta read them carefully and follow them carefully. Make sure you're doing it right, so that you don't end up getting your test thrown out. And then you mail it back into them, and then you just kind of wait for your results. And you can sign up for like an email or a notification where it'll tell you, here's your results. And then you just review that, and it'll tell you like whatever it is you're trying to find out. And like I said, even after that, say there's a problem, you still gotta try to go find someone who's actually gonna take it seriously and be like, look, I did this for myself. Here's what it says. I want you to kind of figure out why instead of telling me like, no, you don't have any problems. It's all in your head. Take these pills and get out of here. Pay us $1,000, which is the problem I've run into. Sorry if I'm a little bit bitter about the American health industry and the way it operates and the way it runs, because that just seems to be my personal experience that I've run into a lot, and it's been very frustrating. So that's why I prefer doing the at-home health testing. It can be a little bit pricey. There are different rates depending on what you're getting tested, and you can get some of them on discounts and sales sometimes, like Black Friday and stuff like that. But they usually vary from within like around $70-$80 at the low end to like $240 at the high end. So you're going to be somewhere within that range usually. It can be a little bit expensive, but I feel like it's actually less expensive than going to the doctor and having them do everything. Now the one big complaint I have, and I'm going to give a trigger warning here, which I usually wouldn't do. I'm going to talk a little bit about like body fluids and like phobia and panic attack. So I got a test through LetsGetChecked, was the other one I did, which required a blood test. And this is my one big problem with the majority of these at-home health tests require blood tests. There's only a minority of them that are like mouth swabs or spit samples or urinalysis, where you pee into like a cup and then you take a dropper and you put it into like a test tube. So you have to be able to handle your own fluids is one thing here to be able to do these, and then some of them are like rectal or fecal exams, which I haven't done any of those. But you basically just you go to the bathroom and you wipe your butt, and then you put the wipe in the thing is usually what you do for most of those. So the Let's Get Checked one I did had a blood sample, and most of them they take a finger prick, and I don't understand how people who have diabetes test their blood sugar, because I'm extremely blood phobic and extremely sensitive in my fingers, and it's like very painful. and I just had like a heck of an experience. I had a professional nurse helping me, and I still couldn't do it. Um, like I just like freaked out. Was like cold sweats, like all of blood went down my face, went pale, nearly passed out, like just couldn't get the blood out. Um, and so I called them. I called their help center and I was like, "Hey, I cannot send you this sample. It did not work. I'm not going to be able to take one." Uh, and they apologized for my inconvenience in my experience and went ahead and gave me a refund. So that's good. I mean, I appreciated them. It was a very friendly and personal woman I talked to, and she was very empathetic with my situation, because she could tell that I was just like, this was an awful experience, and I would never wanted to do it again. So that's my one big complaint and issue, is that you're basically your own doctor and you're doing it all yourself, and you got to be comfortable with that and able to do it. And if not, then you're still going to end up needing to go to like professional health and have them do it. Have like a testing center take your blood sample instead, where they can hold you up if you're passing out and stuff like that. Because that's how bad I am. I'm one of those where I gotta have someone squeezing my hand and everything. But yeah, that's the one big complaint and issue I have, is just the majority of them require that blood test, and if you can't do it, then you can't do it. But otherwise, like I said, you get the test, you get the results, and then hopefully everything's good, and you still have the other issue of, like I said, if there's something wrong, you still got to still see a doctor after that and figure out why you're getting those results, basically. But otherwise, I personally prefer doing the at-home health testing over going through the whole hassle of going through a doctor and getting the appointment and all that stuff, other than for the blood samples, for blood work. Also, they are currently, I haven't really checked it out, some of them are doing at-home COVID testing right now. I'm not sure how that works, or how good that is. It hasn't been like a big personal concern of mine, personally, but I know a lot of people are really worried about that and would rather have the peace of mind to see if they have it or not, or if they need it for whatever purposes, for travel or what have you. I'm not sure if these ones are officially accepted. That's something I would look into before doing that. But I believe those ones are around like 154 or something like that when I was looking at the pricing. So that's another option. That's the whole spiel that I had to go into on that issue. What the pros and cons are, but I do recommend going that route if it's something you can afford and you think works for you. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you tune in for some more reviews.